Sequoia is a big school like MA. We have over 2,000 students. We serve Redwood City primarily, as well as San Carlos, which is next door. We also have students from Belmont, East Palo Alto, Redwood Shores, Menlo Park. It is a large school, but we put in some measures to try and make it a smaller school, and I can tell you about those in detail, those of you who will be at Sequoia. But some of the reasons that I love working for Sequoia are that it's a little bit different than Menlo Atherton when I was growing up. We're actually a majority minority school, and so there is I think, about 60% of the students are Latino, and it makes for a different place than what I was used to growing up. The school is the oldest school on the peninsula. It was actually built at the same time as Stanford because the farmers in the area said, hey, wait a minute, they're building that beautiful university. We want a piece of that too. We want our kids to be able to go to Stanford. So it was built back in 1895, I believe, and it's been here ever since. So it has a long history, some ups, some downs. About 10 years ago, the school had a major shift and started bringing in programs like the International Baccalaureate program, which some of you might be familiar with, which is sort of similar to APs, but a little bit different. So we do serve, we have IB classes, and so we have a lot of very engaged, very academic students on campus. And then we also have a large population of students who are really struggling. About 60% of our students are Title I students, which means that they are on a free and reduced price lunch program, and they are also reading far below reading, where they should be in reading, so sort of a double whammy. We have a large percentage of ESL students, given what's going on in this area and how hard it is to find affordable housing. So you asked at one point, how has the election affected things? It's been really interesting. The wave of Silicon Valley jobs here in the Bay Area, both in biotech and in tech, has forced out a lot of families. And so some of our most fragile families who were, living 10 in a garage, they said, Uncle, I can't do this anymore, and I'm moving to Modesto, which is very disruptive to the kids and to the kids around them. So if we lose one family, cousins are affected, other friends are affected, and it feels like, oh my gosh, you feel more at risk. Redwood City used to be one of the last places that you could find affordable housing in the Bay Area, and that's changed a lot over the past even 3 years. And so the parents and families are under tremendous stress, working 3-4 jobs, and so the parents adore their kids and they would do anything to help them, but they just physically can't be at home. And that's led to some problems like after-school care. So to get to the programs, we have the students that you'll be working with are students who are struggling academically. It a lot of times tends to be students who are from low-income families, who cannot afford to pay for a private tutor, who cannot afford to take them to ballet lessons and tennis lessons and that kind of thing. So what Sequoia has is a pretty robust after-school program called SAFE. It stands for Sequoia After School Focused Enrichment. And what it means is that we want all of the students to feel like they have the same access to what everybody else is doing. So Maisha has kayaking lessons that her parents can pay for. I can't pay for that, but I can take kayaking lessons through SAFE. And so we sort of try to level the playing field a little bit. We have robotics, we have tutoring, we have tennis, we had makeup application, which was a super fun class. But the idea is that we're keeping the kids safe until mom and dad or somebody can get them home from school safely. So they are with us from the end of school, which is somewhere around 2:30 or 3:30, till about 6 o'clock. And they're taking classes, they're doing their homework, they're hanging out. They are receiving tutorial support. We feed them dinner around 5, and then they go home. And usually mom and dad come and pick them up Some of them walk home on their own. But part of what we're trying to do is provide a safe time between after school and mom gets home, where they're not going to get tempted to make bad choices, because that's what it happens. That's the dangerous time. These are great kids. They think they know everything, because that's